Hello. Good morning. I am so excited. Today we get to meet with Rebekah Farmer at Tailored Keto Health. And her story is phenomenal. She basically came back from the dead. And it's just been amazing watching her transformation and watching her life. And we have a couple of people that have brought forth some questions for her. So I am so excited to be able to ask her those questions and, you know, to just join and to touch base with her and find out
Hi,
what
how
she
are
thinks.
you?
Hi.
Good. I'm good.
Good.
I'm
How
so
are
excited to
you?
do this. I want to answer as many questions as possible. All
All
right.
right, cool. Well, let's get started. So the first one is, what are you eating now exactly? I know you were
Mhm.
doing stevia at some point, and how much protein are you eating now? I know you were eating over
Mhm.
250 grams
I
at one
wonder,
point.
this person really studied me. So I did do a high protein experiment. That was Sean Baker's Get Shredded Guide. And I was eating 250 plus grams of protein. At that time, I was doing turkey, ground turkey, and fish. It was like cod and mahi. I'm so over that. So if I were to do a lean approach, I would do veal, goat, shrimp, and that's basically what I eat most of the time now. So I will share specifics, even though, full disclosure, I don't like sharing specifics because people want to copy me, but I will
I
do
don't
this to
either.
answer this question. But you guys should not copy me because what I did starting this was 4-to-1
Nope.
fat to protein. Like fat was out the wazoo. Now I have many days where my fat is higher than my protein. So I aim for 1 gram of protein per pound of desired body weight. Intuitively, I'm eating around 130 grams of protein. I weigh about 120 pounds now. And when I gained all my weight, I actually got up to 155. Like, even my chiropractor was like, you can slow down. And I was like, I'm just listening to my hunger. So that 30-pound drop was totally natural. I have not restricted one moment. It was just my hormones getting to where they needed to be. My period is normal. My sleep is great. My energy is great. So, um, honor your hunger. So 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. That's usually around what I'm eating is 125 to 130 grams of protein every day. I'm not overeating protein. I have no desire to. I am fully satiated. And what I eat daily is veal. I love veal from Billy Doe Meats. Billy Doe Meats is what I eat daily as well. My discount code is tailored. I love this company. This is the meat that I ate as I was healing. They're incredible. They're my friends. I support them and they support me. We have grown together. It's halal, it is holistically raised, and it's non-aged. Non-aged meat was a game changer for me. So if it's not veal, if I don't have veal, then I'm going to eat maybe some bison. I also like bison, elk, elk, venison. I very honestly, I'm drawn towards the leaner things now. I eat red Argentinian shrimp from Costco. It tastes like lobster, but it's, the same price as shrimp. Um, and I eat homemade pickles, which I've been making. I enjoy the taste. I eat sauerkraut, enjoy the taste. I eat yogurt
That's
every
awesome.
day. I eat the only brand of yogurt that I eat is called Too Good, TWO Good, because it's very low in sugar. I love it. And then I eat my carnivore brownies and ice cream every day, which does have stevia. It's made from beef protein isolate, and it's 3 ingredients, and I do great with it. That's another good, easy way for me to get enough protein when, sometimes I sit down and eat some veal and shrimp, and I'm done after, you know, 10 minutes. I'm like stuffed. So I'll go have some ice cream or something like that, or yogurt. It's very easy for me to eat. I eat roasted garlic on a regular basis. I make a sauce with mustard. It's yellow mustard, apple cider vinegar, some cayenne, and a little bit of stevia. It's like a tangy honey mustard sauce. Sounds weird, but it's really good. So I think that's everything that I eat. And then I make a hydration slushie every day with electrolytes.
That's awesome. And I think that's such a good message to send because so often people are just looking for this cookie cutter answer for them, and it is
Yeah,
not
it's
cookie
totally,
cutter. Everybody is coming
yes,
with a
it has to
different
evolve.
set of
Basically,
problems.
I like variety and I stay away from high carb. I stay away from high oxalate. I eat mostly animal foods. I'll eat shirataki noodles as well, miracle noodles. I'll make that with, garlic. You can make shrimp scampi with them, but obviously I'm not eating noodles. I'm not eating garlic to get nutrients or to fill up on them. I'm eating them as garnish. I also love fresh herbs. So yes, please don't copy me or anyone else. Figure out what is appropriate in terms of protein and fat, because that is very important. And then how you shape it, it doesn't have to be rigid. It doesn't have to be cookie cutter. It shouldn't be. And I guarantee that what is optimal for me now will change. It will change because I am growing. I'm still healing. We're all still, we should be changing. So.
Absolutely. And that's what I hate sometimes about, because we've been on this journey for a couple of years now, and people watch my old videos and they'll be like, I'm
Yeah.
eating, just like you said.
I
And
know
I'm just
people
like,
ask me all the
like,
time.
you need to find your
Yeah,
own place, find your own,
yeah,
listen to your own body. Your body might not even need that. And everybody's at a different place of healing where they might not need to be as
totally,
restrictive as I am with
totally.
my
I totally
MS,
agree. Carnivore is not necessary for everyone. I think it's fantastic for everyone to try, but it's not necessary for everyone. And I came from keto. I got down to 69 pounds, over 10 autoimmune diseases on keto. I was never vegan. I was never a standard American diet. But that's me bio-individually. My gut took a hit that a lot of people never get to that point. Keto is great for a lot of people. And if I have kids someday, they're probably going to be more, keto. They're going to have some more variety. So yeah, no one size fits all, as someone said. Totally.
Absolutely. This
Okay.
next question is long, but I think it's a good question. It's one that I hear pretty often. How do I develop a taste for beef? I am 90% carnivore since 2020 because of autoimmune issues, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, allergies, etc. I have difficulty sticking to strict carnivore, although I believe this would reverse my symptoms completely if I am able to sustain it 100%. I generally don't like eating beef or other ruminant animals. I find the smell overpowering. I'm allergic to seafoods and chicken, but I can tolerate pork. I notice that with beef and salt, my symptoms subside. I feel great, but I also notice that I do not enjoy eating it. I eat very little if I have only beef. Because of that, I feel constantly hungry, and I eat a little of the illegal stuff just to make things interesting, putting sauces and seasonings on beef or eating with a cup of rice or veggies so that I can eat more. The downside is that my reactions afterwards, including allergies, anxiety, chronic fatigue, and chronic pain, all come back. I became a bit underweight for my build and height, and I was a vegetarian for more than 10 years and was quite sickly. I never want to go back.
I think I read that in the comments on the post you made, that question, right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
of all, kudos to you for trying. I see that you're trying, incorporating the rice, the spices, the seasonings. I actually think that's a good idea, but to be a little bit more strategic
I do
with it.
too.
Cut out the carbs because you're probably still running on glucose and you're craving those carbs. You might have some bad bacteria that's only hungry for sugar. This is when our appetite is very selective. I work with so many people that tell me I can't eat meat. I am not hungry, but then they're eating peanut M&Ms. And I'll
Yes.
tell them part of it is, yes, discipline, but part of it literally is the bugs in your gut are feeding off of the sugar, and that's what they want. So you have to buckle down, and I would say get certain things out of your house. If you don't want to crave it anymore, then get it out of your house and stop eating it. We actually crave what we eat. Our microbiome will change. And then please do incorporate seasonings and spices. You know, my mustard sauce is super safe. Fresh herbs are generally really safe. And then get creative with the different cuts of beef or different cuts of the ruminant animals. You know, Billy Doe meats I love because they have bacon. They have lamb and goat bacon. They have veal ribs. They have boneless lamb sirloin. It's not gamey tasting, which I also think would help you out, my friend. So play around with different cuts, play around with seasonings and spices, and keep your eye on the long game. Keep your eye on the goal. You want to not be a food addict or a sugar addict. You want to be free to live your life without these symptoms. And you're doing a great job, but I think that you have to officially break up with the carbs so that you start to crave what is good for you. And there is a transition period where it doesn't feel good and you're doing it and you're drudging along. And that's where I would say get creative, because that's how I felt. When I did just beef, salt, and water, I was like, I felt worse. One, because of histamines, but two, because it was so restrictive. And so when I gave myself permission to color outside the lines, I let myself do stevia. I let myself do spices. It made it sustainable. And it was like, this is fun. This is good. I can do this. And then now I'm to the point where if someone told me those keto treats that I used to eat wouldn't be harmful for me, I really wouldn't want them. It tastes like chemicals. I have no desire. I would rather go to a Brazilian steakhouse and eat meat, or just eat Billy Doe meats at home. And so I can trust my cravings, and I have such a better, more healthy relationship with myself and with food. But it takes time to get there. So give yourself the time, probably get some accountability so that you do stick to this plan and don't give up.
Absolutely. And I think that's a really good point also to where your source is. Because if you're just getting, you know, beef or ruminant meats out of the grocery store, you know, it might be something that you really need to find a local source or a better source, or like you said, Billy Doe meats, that maybe what you're tasting is the chemicals that they put in the grocery store meat.
Yes, that's so true too. The quality of your meat. When I eat lamb from the grocery store, like I can't even finish it. I used to say that, you know, that makes me snobby, but honestly, it's really important. Like I don't even have peace of mind when I'm eating an animal that was not treated properly. So yeah, just definitely pay attention to the quality of your meat as well.
Absolutely. The next question is, recently my doctor said that I wasn't absorbing enough vitamins and minerals from my food. She said it doesn't make sense because everything I'm missing is in meat. Is there anything that I can do that will help with absorption? Have you ever heard or seen this with your clients? Also, I don't have a gallbladder.
Interesting. So I'm assuming this person is carnivore.
Yeah, she says she eats only meat.
One, I'd be curious to know if you're really cutting out all the anti-nutrients. That is the first thing that comes to mind, because I was eating meat too, but I was still wasting away because anti-nutrients were binding to other nutrients. Although also a possibility could be that if you're not having a gallbladder, you might not be absorbing or assimilating enough fat, and we need a minimum of 30 to 50 grams of fat per day to absorb our vitamins and minerals. So I would break up your meals into maybe 3 meals a day into smaller portions, and be sure that you're eating raw, unrendered fat. I think that getting enough fat is going to be key for you to absorb your vitamins and minerals. Animal fat. And if that's not it, that you're not getting enough fat, even still, animal fat is what will heal and seal your gut so that you do absorb the food that you eat.
Absolutely. I can't, you know, sing the praises
I know
of
you know
animal
about
fat
that
enough.
for sure. Me too.
It's a game changer. And, you know, and I thought it was just me. I thought that I was just this weird outlier,
Yeah,
but
it's
it's my
everyone.
clients too. I mean, I cannot tell you how many people I've got
Yeah,
them to eat more animal fat and
totally.
stuff just falls away. It's
Yeah,
just like not even a battle.
totally.
Awesome. The next question is, are you still having success with lamb and can you live on lamb only? How is your current state after doing
I
that
never
for a
did just
while?
lamb. I never did that. Michaela did that.
I didn't
I
think so
didn't.
either.
I ate a lot of lamb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a
Maybe they're
lot of lamb
confusing you too.
because it's no histamine from Billy Doe meats and it's super fatty. So when I was doing the fattier approach, I was doing mostly lamb. But even still, I always had variety like goat and veal, which are also low histamine. Could I do only lamb? Yeah, I could, but I have no desire to. I really like the variety. So I think that answers that question.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you drink? Any caffeine? How many cups a day of, or do you just drink plain water?
My
And how is
sleep
your
is
sleep?
phenomenal, better than ever in my entire life. And I had severe insomnia. I would go 5 days at a time without sleeping. You know, I went through this phase. It was like I literally lost my mind. I was mania. So it's wonderful to just hit the pillow. Sometimes I'm in bed at 7:30 p.m. But I get up at 4 with energy and I don't have to set an alarm. So my sleep is incredible. And um, and then what was the other part of the question?
Well, speaking about the sleep though, I do
Oh
want you
yeah.
to talk
So I
about the
just
CBD
started, yes.
that you
I
guys,
just started
yeah, that
using
sounds
this
amazing.
literally a month ago. So first of all, I healed insomnia without using anything. Um, but this CBD, I've been looking for CBD for years without crappy oils added to it. I'm always seeing avocado oil, olive oil. So this is truly just CBD, pure hemp, high quality, and just wonderful ingredients. So they have like a CBD peppermint tincture or French vanilla. I will take it just straight out of the dropper, but they also make these formulated deep sleep caps with CBD, L-theanine, and valerian. I love all of those. It's very simple and it's very effective. So since I've taken this, my dreams have been just very much more vivid and I love it. I wake up not
That's
groggy.
so
I actually
cool.
had a dream the other day that I was dreaming. So I fell asleep within my dream and then I was like, "Oh, I'm dreaming. I should wake up." And I woke up but I was still in my dream and it wasn't freaky and I knew what was going on the whole time and it was like it has to be this stuff that I'm taking. So I do have a discount code. It's Santa Cruz Medicinals. I have a discount code with them now. It's like a very small company, and they're coming out with some really cool things. So I would definitely recommend CBD for anyone who is just wanting to take off the edge. It helps with recovery. I'm doing CrossFit, you know, a lot, and it's just really nice to take off the edge. So yeah. Yes,
So when
yeah, I
do
take
you
it in
take
the
it at
evening,
night?
like around 6 or 7. But the CBD itself, sometimes I'll take that in the morning. If I feel, you know, especially after a really hard workout where I can feel the adrenaline and I'm just like wanting to chill a little bit, I'll just do a dropper because it helps with recovery. It helps to get my body back into that rest mode. But I usually do take it at night. Yeah, yeah,
That's awesome. The
great.
other question was, what do you drink? Any caffeine? And if so, how many
Yeah,
cups a
so
day
I
or
do
just plain
take
water?
pre-workout a couple times a week. I really enjoy the Redmond Relight pre-workout. It's a moderate amount of caffeine, 150 milligrams, and it has L-theanine, again, maca, ginseng, and your electrolytes and all of your trace minerals. If I'm not taking that, I am going to take salt before I work out. I put salt in my water throughout the day. I stay salty. I mentioned my hydration slushy. It's made with Redmond Relight, apple cider vinegar, which is a great source of potassium, and then Aussie trace minerals. And then I do like LaCroix. It's delicious and is much needed. Like if I skip it, I will get headaches and I don't feel as good at CrossFit. I sweat in my sauna every day and I sweat at CrossFit. So electrolytes are very important to me. I do not do coffee. Coffee depletes your stomach enzymes and your minerals. I don't do it. I'm not against caffeine for the right individual. And there are days where I'm very intentional about not doing anything because I don't want to become dependent. I used to drink coffee every day, but I quit that a long time ago. I will drink tea every now and then. I enjoy yerba mate, and matcha. Those are low enough in oxalate that it's not a problem. And then dandelion tea is 0 oxalate. And I also enjoy Tazo passion tea, which is just, it's got hibiscus, low oxalate. It's a cold brew tea. So yeah, I have a lot of variety. My fridge is almost always stocked with LaCroix. Like the whole shelf is dedicated to LaCroix. I like the variety. It's just really enjoyable. So yeah, I think that's about it. And I do drink flat water. So I start my day out with drinking 48 ounces of flat water. And I stay hydrated. But yeah, electrolytes are just as important.
That's awesome. This is my question. How did you hold on and navigate your healing when everyone around you did not see you or help you? I picture it as a person drowning and everyone around them is just running around in all directions and not
That's
saving
a really
you or
good
supporting you.
depiction of how I felt. I felt invisible, and the only reason I held on is because of God, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ met me where I was at when my own family was literally cut me off, blocked my phone. I was dealing with a narcissist, and I was being told that I needed to remove my colon and be hooked up to a feeding tube, and I had no one. And God met me in that place in a way that no human can. And my message is that there is always hope, and please don't allow yourself to get to that place before you acknowledge Jesus Christ. Before you acknowledge, think about your faith, your belief systems, because it determines everything. So that's why I didn't give up, and I did want to give up, but God would always provide ways or encouragement in ways that were undeniable. Like he would have strangers speak into my life. He would just give me signs.
Yes.
I mean, even Tyler, my boyfriend, who I'm pretty sure is going to be my husband, we met because he was a total stranger who gave me a place to live to escape this domestic abuse that I was dealing with. He just let me stay in his Airbnb in the bonus room. And it's just like God took this horrible, ugly situation and he just intervened in the most beautiful ways. And I can look back now and see that. He was providing for me. He was protecting me, even when I closed my eyes to him. When I was still too stubborn to change, he still looked out for me. So that's why I didn't give up, because in my heart of hearts, I knew that I was not alone, and I knew that I had a purpose, and that I wasn't created for nothing. As much as I wanted, I actually did pray to God to let me die. Many times I said, please just let me go in my sleep. I'm hurting my family. I have no life. I'm not going to have a life until I gain weight, and I can't gain weight, and I'm trying to gain weight, but now I have a binge eating disorder, and I'm just hurting everyone and spending a bunch of money on all these therapies. And it was just really dark. And I sincerely wanted God to just let me go be with him. But he had something else in store. But I had to surrender a lot to get to that point.
Absolutely. And I remember vividly, being in the hospital with MS and thinking, okay, this is it. Like, this is it. I was fighting to avoid the psych ward, and now I'm going to a nursing home. Like, that's what's going to happen. And then I would have a nurse or a housekeeping staff that would just, I swear to you,
I
they
had
were
angels. I had angels too.
They would speak
I
they would
know.
speak the craziest
I know.
things, and I'd be
I've
like,
had homeless
how
people
do you
speak into my
know what
life.
I'm going
I've
through?
had
Yes.
colonoscopy nurse preps, or just strangers in the gym that know way too much about me, and it's like, you're not even a real person. Like I truly think
No.
I've had angels as well. And God does that. He does that for everyone. And he provides relationships and real people as well.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's totally undeniable. But I almost like his style of really kind of surprising us and
It's
wooing
so
us
I
with
love that.
just
I know. It's so
randomness. You
intentional.
know, it makes me
Yes.
feel so
It is
spoiled.
so, like you said, he's wooing us. God loved me so much that he knew. I mean, I love telling the story about Tyler and I. I love that story. He already knew, like, I wanted something like that. And yeah, like, he cares about us more than anyone. He's our first love, and he's so intentional. And you're never overlooked, you're never forgotten. And those, the littlest things can just change your life. And that's why I never gave up, because I could not deny it. It was undeniable.
It is. It's absolutely undeniable. And I encourage anybody who's listening to us right now or listening to the replay that you might be drowning. You might be sitting there and no one in your physical environment sees you or knows how to help you, but he does. He does. He designed you. He wrote the owner's manual on your life. Not even Rebekah or I could speak into what you need to do, but he knows. And so all you have to do is turn to him. That's it. Like she said, she was closing her eyes, and all she had to do was open her eyes to him and his possibilities. And he navigated for her this absolute transformation from death to thriving. She didn't just survive, she is thriving because of every little step along the way. And it's
It
been a
has.
bunch of steps, and it's still going. I mean, I know that you're still healing and you're still growing and you're still learning. Awesome. So my other question is, tell me all about your retreat and how to sign up. Because this is phenomenal and I am so jealous because this is
Yes.
something that I
So
definitely want
I
to do.
am so excited for this next one, especially. So this has been a lifelong dream. Um, Hosting health retreats, literally since I was like 6 years old. And so this last October was my first one. And I left with a tribe. I mean, it was everything. Tyler got to go and he was like, "You're in your element." And that's when he asked me to be his girlfriend too. Probably because I was beaming. It's like, this is what I was created for.
Oh,
So this next one is going to be at a 2-home, super bougie property in Malabar Beach, Florida, like super fancy. We have our own pool, hot tub, outdoor kitchen. It's 2 homes, multiple driveways, and it's ocean front. We're going to have Billy Doe meats, North Star bison, and we are also going to have Dr. Ken Berry, Nisha, and their son Beckett. Yes, through the 11th. And it's just going to be incredible. So there will be learning segments and there will be a lot of chillax time. We are at the ocean. We have meat. We have a hot tub. Like, I want it to be very restorative, fun, healing. And if you want to schedule other events, the area is amazing. But it's all inclusive. It's everything except for travel expenses in the price. I have gift bags. They are literally over $250 value because this is just what I want to do. I want every retreat to be better and better. I want to bless people, serve people, love people, and that in-person experience is invaluable. There are so many people that are like, my brownies aren't turning out like yours, or I feel alone in this. Yes, this online community is incredible, but nothing beats spending time in person and that fellowship. When you leave, I want you to go home with confidence and not just in what you're eating, but confidence in who you are in Christ, and what He's calling you to do with your health and how to do it. and, you know, how to reach out if you need help. I want you to learn about the different mechanisms behind keto and carnivore. You know, you can eat things that didn't have a face. To be mindful of anti-nutrients and how to prepare things. It's not as complicated as we might think. There's so much information out there, and it doesn't have to be complicated. And that's also what I want to show people. You know, I can put these meals together like nothing. We're going to make a different carnivore brownie recipe every day. We're going to have Blondie's carrot cake, chocolate, blondie and brownie. I've got it all, and it's super easy and super convenient, and there's no crap in it. So I just want to bless the heck out of people, and I want to see them heal. And it's really what I'm called to do. And that's why I went all out on the property, because I'm not trying to make money. I might end up in the negatives. But this is what I'm being called to do, and God is providing for it. So
that is so incredible. And I think it's so true that there is one thing about seeing other people, watching their videos, watching their YouTube, watching their lives. It's a completely different thing when you are seen. When somebody knows your name and somebody checks in with you and says, hey, Rebekah, how are you doing? Hey, Rebekah, what's going on with you? What's your journey been like? That is my favorite thing, is to let people be seen.
Exactly. Walking on the trails at my fall retreat, you know, we spent multiple days just hiking and having these little conversations with this person and that person, and you know, let's run up ahead, or just, you know, conversations in the hot tub. I can just think of so many conversations that I had, and it's like, it was very surreal when people started arriving. It's like, oh my gosh, like, I've been talking with you for months, or I'm just meeting you for the first time, and it's so beautiful. That's what humans are made for. We need connection. We are not made for isolation. So yeah, if you are interested, please shoot me a message, and basically your payment reserves your spot. I do have spots open, and I really think this is going to be one of the best ever. Dr. Barry and his wife signed up like last minute. And I'm so excited to have them. It's going to be incredible.
That is so incredible. And you invited me last time and I couldn't go. You know, I got to tell you, like, it is on my top 10 list of things that I want to do. And so I know that one day it's going to happen. We're going to have a blast. Same. I cannot wait. When are the dates for 14th?
So about a month away, and it's in Malabar Beach, Florida. It's not far from an airport. All you need to bring is comfy clothes, maybe a journal, and I mean, that's pretty much it. We're going to be taking care of all the cooking and everything like that. We'll be driving with a lot of meat from Billy Doe Meats, and I'm so excited. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, my last question is girl talk. So what's it been like navigating a healthy relationship after
I love that.
An abusive
It's been
one?
Incredible. Even after this narcissist that I was with, I was really already traumatized when I got into that relationship. My brain wasn't even working right. So that we didn't really get into a relationship. We kissed like a couple times. I slept in a separate bedroom the whole time. We barely hugged. Like, this was very strange. But even my relationships in the past before that, I've been engaged twice and I've been cheated on. And it was, you know, my second engagement, I really thought we were going to get married. And then I was diagnosed with chronic Lyme disease and my life fell apart. But he wasn't ready. We weren't ready. And I'm so grateful to God that I didn't get into that. And basically, I have always settled without even realizing it. I've always settled. And the way that Tyler treats me and does not allow me to settle is so beautiful. It is such a testament of God's love for me that he's provided this guy. First of all, he's the most attractive guy I've ever been with. Tyler is like the hunk of my dreams, but his character is everything that I've always prayed for. I actually have a list that I made in high school of, these are the characteristics that I want in my future spouse. And I gave up those requirements because I was like, I'm never going to find this. But Tyler meets all those requirements and more, in ways that it's like, this is very humbling, and it shows me patience, and it shows me this is what real love is. And it's rocking my world, and it's such a blessing. So that's the main difference, is that I see God in this relationship, and I am only growing closer to God.
Isn't that crazy?
And so is he. And that's just the most beautiful thing, because that's what we both want to do forever. And so if we can do that together, that's amazing. And I know that if something happened, it wouldn't be ugly. Like, we are here to glorify God, and both of our hearts are in that place. And it's taken me a long time to be prepared for marriage, but I think I'm almost there. I think God is finally like, okay, girl, like, you finally surrendered to me. Now I can give you this man, and you guys can go do more things for me. So it's just really amazing, because I never thought I would get into another relationship after that breakup. When I got really sick, I was truly in love with him, and it broke my heart. Like, it was bad. And I never thought I would be able to love again. But then God changed me from the inside out, and God changed Tyler. When I first met him, when he was doing Airbnb, he was a different person too. And we disconnected for about a year, and I had already really, really liked him. So I prayed for him. I never thought I would see him again. And then he reached out on New Year's of 2021. And he was like, hey, we should probably catch up. And I stayed until 5 a.m. We played Jenga. And then we got into a relationship officially in the fall. So we've spent the past 2 years together almost every day, and most of it was as best friends. We've been dating for almost 6 months now, but there's been so much that God has done in both of our lives, and this is the first time that I ever even cared. This is the first time that I ever even cared what God was doing. It's not about, oh, I want to be in this relationship, God. I want to be with someone. It was like, no, I'm confident on my own. I am confident in my relationship with Christ. At the end of the day, if that's what he's calling me to be, single and just serving him, he's my first love. I am fully satisfied. But then he comes in and he's like, I love you so much that I want to bless you with this man. And that's what he's done. So it's the way that God intended and designed, and it's taken a lot of patience and learning on my part, and I'm still learning patience. But it's amazing. God does deliver and redeem and restore more than what we could ever even imagine and ask for.
Absolutely. And he gives his children good gifts, not subtle gifts, not, oh, that'll do, and I think back to whenever I was, mentally ill, the marriages that I had, and I didn't, even want to marry them. Like, I didn't even, I was just like, this'll do, I'm never going to get what I really want.
And I still fight that. I still fight. There's a part of me that just, I would really love to marry Tyler. And he's like, girl, we've been dating for 6 months. Like, how about we just enjoy where we're at? And he's 100% right. I am so grateful for exactly where we're at. And so those pieces of me that are from the past still kind of come out. And, but it's like, I trust him. I'm not in a rush anymore. But when I got into some relationships that I've been in, it's like, well, I guess this is the next step. I didn't know who God was calling me to be or what he was calling me to do. I didn't have true fulfillment. I didn't know what my purpose was. I didn't have my identity secure in Christ. And if you don't know who you are in Christ, then you don't know who you're looking for, and you're not ready to be with someone. Your job is not to be in a codependent relationship. I'm talking to my old self. But it's just like,
absolutely,
that's what our society really makes relationships look like. It's like, well, this is the next step. Let's just do it.
And the age thing. I was 29 when I first got married, or 28. And I thought, well, I might as well go ahead and marry this one, because I'm never going to get married. I'm 28 years old. And now I'm 43 going, what
Yeah.
was I thinking? Like, my life was not over at 28.
Right.
It was
Exactly.
just
My life
beginning.
started late too. But I feel younger and better than I have in my entire life. And age ain't no thing. Like, yeah, I do sometimes get concerned. Like, Tyler, if we don't get married, I want to have kids. And my ovaries do have a shelf life.
Hmm.
But he's always like, well, that didn't matter, with Abraham and Sarah. And I'm like, hey, well, I guess I have
No,
nothing
it
to say to
didn't.
that.
And it doesn't matter with
Exactly.
carnivore. There are people well into their
Totally.
40s
Yeah.
on
I have
carnivore
women
having
who
babies.
think they're going into menopause, and when we work together, they get their cycles back. They're like, I thought I was done with this. So that's so true. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, those are all the questions that I have, but is there anything else that you want to add, or just something on your heart that you just want to talk about or
I
leave with
just want
everyone?
to again say that there is hope, and no matter where you're at right now, I want to encourage people to lean into what God is trying to show you, and not on your own strength or your own understanding, because that's what changed my life, is deciding, okay, I can't be in control anymore. But God gave me wisdom
Mm,
and discernment, and I started using my critical thinking skills again. That came from God, and that came out of a surrender. My heart posture had to change. So, ask yourself, is there something that I'm holding on to? Am I trying to do this in my own way? Because you're setting yourself up for disappointment, and you might be holding yourself back by, you know, God knows best. So don't give up, and also be willing to listen and lean into Him. Um, and if you do want to talk to someone about just Jesus, Emily and I are here for you. We get to share that. We know the Holy
yes,
Spirit, we know God's love, and He loves you.
absolutely. And I can't thank you enough for just being on this journey with me. I feel like I have a friend for
Thanks.
life with you, and I know that the best is yet to come. And this is not the end of this story.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
amen.
amazing.
I'm thankful for you. Thank you.
All right,
Bye. Thanks,
all
guys.
right. Talk